Something that I've learned from Allstate that I didn't expect is that it takes a lot of practice, and I thought it would be easy to just kind of blend in with everyone, and that I didn't know it, but you have to know your stuff. You can't get away with it.
Something I didn't expect is the amount of people, because there are around 540 people here, and that's crazy.
Something I've learned from Dr. Talberg is to always be positive no matter your situation. It can be good, bad, ugly, but whatever it is, you need to be positive.
Something that I learned from Dr. Talberg is how to connect the meaning of the music to how you sing the music.
My favorite piece is Lift Every Voice. It has a lot of different changes in the song that I really like. It has a really intense part in the middle that just is kind of meaty in a way that I really love about the music, and just the resolution at the end is just gorgeous.
My favorite piece and why I like it is When We Are Gone. It is just so beautiful, and there are so many parts that mingle together in a way that you think wouldn't work, but it just sounds so beautiful, and it's really personal to our conductor director, because he wrote the poetry for it, and he told us about it, and it's just such a beautiful piece. I was saying leading up to Allstate, even before I knew the history or whatever behind it, how much I love this piece. And everyone was like, oh my goodness, I love it, but it's so hard. And the entire time I was just like, I love this piece so much.
I know we're just waiting for the...
Oh, we're going? Oh man, you're gonna put this in the bloopers. All right.
My name is Leah Tarrant from Taylorsville High School. I've been doing Allstate. This is my 26th year of doing Allstate, and that's a lot.
I'm Trevor Walker. I teach band and choir at Parowan High School. I've been bringing students to Allstate Choir. I've been teaching for 8 years, and I brought them for 7 of those 8 because COVID canceled 1 year. Now, my favorite memory was when Rollo Dilworth came. His very first warm-up was this crazy warm-up of someone's got these soda pop cans, da 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 da, and the kids didn't believe him, and then he slowly added a harmony for each group. So this silly little song turned into this massive choral piece, and when they finished, the group just absolutely erupted. It was so fun.
So my favorite memory of Allstate also is about as long as I've been bringing kids, and I can't tell you exactly the number of years, but it was when James Jordan came. James Jordan, one of my favorite people to watch and read, and he came to do Allstate, and I knew that I wanted to bring some students. I brought my oldest daughter, and she was able to get up on stage as he demonstrated how the diaphragm worked. And just the whole evening and weekend of listening to him and hearing the choirs, but being able to see my daughter working with one of my idols and getting to get a little selfie with him afterwards was a great memory.
My name's Nathan Egan, and I've been doing Allstate in Utah for 7 years now, and 1 year, this last year, as the Allstate Choir Manager. And one of my favorite memories of Allstate is when Dr. Anton Armstrong came, and he taught the students about diction, and he'd always say diction and do this gesture, and that lived with my students for years. Those students that went to that Allstate, every year after, I would see them going, Mr. Egan, diction, whenever we needed to work on that.
Something that I've learned about Allstate that I didn't expect was kind of the passion that everyone kind of shares. Coming from honor choir into All-State, it's very, very similar, but it feels like All-State has a more intense feeling where everyone has a bit more of a mature feel about how they take on the music, and they're just so much more passionate about it. And I feel like there's a dynamic shift that I truly just love about All-State.
Something I learned from Dr. Talberg is something called a shadow vowel, and it's different from like normal endings of words. So for example, there's like duh, but you would put an H instead of an A at the end, so it's more like a duh.
What I have learned from Dr. Talbert is that good choirs can sing loud, but the best choirs can sing soft.
Something that I didn't expect about Allstate was how many people there are and how good we are at actually paying attention to the director and coming in on time, because that's something that you sometimes don't see with just the high school choirs. Something that I learned from Dr. Talberg is the pronunciation of vowels and dictating more clearly.
Are they recording me good? All right. Something that I have learned from Dr. T is that you can be professional while also being a really kind person and just being really open and relating to the people around you. He also gave us a talk about like just having grace and giving thanks, and I thought that was really important. It was really powerful.
Something I've learned from Dr. Talberg is that it's really important to think about the material of the song and the way that connects to your performance and to be able to articulate that in the way you're singing.
Something I didn't expect is I thought that the conductor would be really, really scary, and it's not. He's not. He's really, really nice.
Something from Allstate that I didn't expect is how many different kind of kids there are here, right? You look to your left, you look to your right, you're gonna see 20 different walks of life, and it's really cool to be a part of this.
Something I didn't expect was how well we're able to blend, because most choir kids just like to sing their heart out.
At first, I really liked Zadok the priest because it sounded cool, but after practicing a couple times, I think I like When You Are Gone the best, since there's so many different parts and it all just flows together really nicely.
Something I found out about Allstate that I didn't expect was just the sheer amount of people who are so excited to do it. Like, a lot of the time in choirs and in theater and things, you don't see that many males. And so hearing all of the basses and the baritones and the tenors and everything, it's so amazing. And I look at everyone around me whenever they sing and I'm like, this is awesome. So I didn't expect to hear that kind of like force, because a lot of the time you hear female singers and things like that, and it's like really pretty and lovely, but hearing just the massive just swell of deep voices is so cool.
So my favorite piece is the next one we're gonna be singing. Just kidding. No, that's what Dr. Talberg taught us. But mine is At the Round Earth's Imagined Corners. That is just one of my favorite because I can basically yell it out and it still sounds good, and everyone together, it's perfect.
Something that I've learned from Dr. Talberg is a more appreciation for the music that you're studying at the moment. He told a story about Leonard Bernstein, about how he was asked for his favorite piece of music, and he responded with the music that he was working on performing that week. It just kind of shifted my viewpoint on how I was going to perform the music that we were doing, and I feel like that's going to just carry with me for the rest of my performing life.
Well, my name is JP Kentros. I'm the director of choirs at Jordan High School. I've been sending students to All-State Choir off and on for about 10 years. And my favorite All-State memory was getting to work with Z. Randall Shroop and having my students work with him. I remember I thought it was the coolest thing how down to earth he was, and I remember my students and I had ran up to him and tried to ask him for some autographs and stuff, as well as a bunch of other schools, and it was actually delaying the start of the rehearsal. And here's this internationally renowned composer who we've done his works tons and tons of times, and so they had to say, okay, we need to start rehearsal, so everybody that wants an autograph, make sure you put your name on the top of the paper, turn them in, and then he said he would autograph them. And not only did he autograph his entire mountain of sheet music of people that turned in wanting autographs, he actually wrote a personalized note because everybody's names were on the paper. So he said, dear, so and so, I hope this for you, and wrote a personalized message and then signed his name, Z. Randall Shroop, which I thought that was really impressive to see, to bring people that we think of as on such high levels, like down to earth, and it makes this music like real and human for our students in that kind of a way in so many moments. And so I thought that was a moment where it really exemplified that idea at All-State Choir.
I've been doing All-State for 1 year. This is my first year doing it. And actually this has been my favorite year. My best memory that I have is Dr. Talbert talking to the kids and relaying the story of the pieces and how they all relate to each other and relate to their lives in the modern day. Even our pioneers, we had things to go through, and these kids have things to go through. And that's been my favorite memory, is having that connection.
Hi, my name is Robert Reimer. I teach at Pineview High School in St. George in Washington County. I've been attending All-State choirs for about 20 years. I've been teaching a little bit longer than that, but coming to the All-States that long. One of my favorite moments, experiences, was when we had Dr. James Jordan, come and direct a few years ago. And we did all the pieces that on the program and got to the end of the concert, and the last song didn't go quite as well as he would have liked. And he got off the stand and people were clapping, and he got back on the stand and gave the pitch, and we sang My Flight for Heaven a second time. We'd already performed it in the concert, but we came back and he ended the concert with that. And the first time, all the kids were very into the music, of course, as they would be, but it was a performance. And the second time, it was really a gift to him as the director. It was one of those moments that changes your life, certainly in education and music.
Favorite memory? Actually, I think it happened today, honestly. Excuse me. So I had the honor of hiring the soloist for Lift Every Voice and Sing, and I had an inkling of what she sounded like, and as I stood in the auditorium and heard her sing today, it touched my soul, and the rest of the kids too. So I'm going to count that so far as my favorite moment.